Let's get it. Okay. Where we Hold up, man.
I do this shit every time.
Yeah, every time, bro. Hold on. Okay, so
Hey.
Nah, bro, we can't do it.
No.
All right. Let's go.
What?
You want to start?
Yeah.
Who gonna lead?
I'll take it.
You want to take it? You go ahead.
All right. All right. Welcome back. Instagram. Oh
no, it's not Instagram, nigga. All right. Okay. I got it. Okay. What's going on, YouTube? This is your man, one half of the brand, Abe.
KL.
We want to welcome you guys back to the 24 Karat Black YouTube channel. This episode here, we're going to talk about the hustle and what it takes, pretty much, and kind of our journey, our story. Hoping that it inspires. Some people out there, because we think that some of the things that we experienced, some of the things that went on in our earlier childhood kind of led up to where we are today and how we think and our mentality and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about the hustle and a lot of the things that we experienced, and just share those things with you. Yeah,
with us, we kind of come to a understanding that we feel like, well, before we started the shoot, we kind of came to agreement that we felt that hustling is something that you're born with. I feel like you can't teach that.
Right.
Like, you're born a hustler. You just have to find a particular activity that can bring that out of you. Like, people want the success, and like people who actually achieve it. There's this huge backstory of hustling, staying up late at night. While everybody else is sleeping, we can attest to that.
Yeah,
3 o'clock in the morning,
yep,
our brain is working.
Grinding, and
that's the stuff that people don't see.
That's the stuff that people don't see, and they don't talk about the journey enough. And I think that that's important to know the journey and embrace the journey, and that's kind of what this podcast is about. It's the journey, and I want to start real quick with mine. It's gonna
don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell him because
it's early, dog. How many subscribers do?
Yeah, we don't got many. We don't got many yet, but I want you guys to know, even if we got, I don't know how many right now. I want to be transparent with you guys, and I'm thankful for the amount that we do have. So, if you're a parent, let your kids see this. Show it to them. If you're a younger person, pay attention. And even older people can learn from this. Between me and this guy here, we have a lot of experience with just life, So we like to share that, and that's the importance of that it all translates into 24 Karat Black. So we want to make sure we get that significance across. But either way, I wanted to share my story. My story started when I was 10 years old. I grew up. This was in Monroe. I grew up. I didn't have much after my grandmother passed away.
Monroe what?
Monroe, Louisiana. Nah,
you see like Monroe. Everybody know what Monroe is.
Right. Monroe, a little teeny section in North Carolina.
Outside of Charlotte.
Yes, right outside of Charlotte.
There you go.
So I grew up there, and I mean things weren't the easiest, but I ran into my first experience with learning how to make money. Unfortunately, it was the wrong way, but there was a lesson and a blessing in that example. So it started with me spending the night at one of my little homeboys' house, and we were just spending the night, two little kids, and his brother sold drugs, and they shared a room.
Like he cooked it.
He cooked it and everything. I actually learned how to make it, but I never made it. But I mean, just his family was actually into that, and I'm not going to say who he is, but I hope that he actually sees this video so he can attest to it if he wants to. He can comment. But so basically, we were spending the night, and we were in their room, and I just so happened to be sitting on his brother's bed. His brother was not there. And he we got into talking about drugs and, how to make money selling drugs and how much, his brother made. And back then it seemed cool because, again, product of our environment, that's just what we seen. That's just what we thought was cool. We glorified and looked up to those individuals. And his brother was really cool. Long story short, he said, you want to make $20 really quick. And I don't know all of the conversation, but of course, I'm 10 years old. I want to make $20, and because I'm broke at that time. Not sure where our parents was, but it was late. It was late at night, and he lifted up his brother's mattress, and it was crack under there. It was pieces of crack under the actual mattress. And he told me, he said, so you take one of these pieces. I mean, I knew about crack, but I didn't know everything. I mean, he said, you take one of these pieces, it's worth $20. And you just, it's a house right up the street. You take it there, and you just basically ask them, do they need anything? And I said, okay, I'll do it. And we went outside, and, he stood there. Again, it was dark. He watched me walk. It was probably 50 yards away from where he was. But there was a crack house, and there was a guy sitting on the porch. And I had the crack in my hand. I had it, in my hand, and I'm like, I'm a little nervous, whatever. But I got to the house, and I'm like, went up to the guy, and I said, do you need anything? I asked the guy, I was like, do you need anything? I'm sitting there, I had to be about 90 pounds, soaking wet. I was a little frail dude, so it's like, do you need anything? And the guy said, what do you got? And I opened my hand, and he took it out of my hand, and he put it in his mouth, and he walked into the house. And I was out there for probably a minute waiting for him to come back till I realized, he's not going to come back. And then what saved me, and here's the blessing, there was a lady across the street that knew I was not supposed to be there. And she just started screaming at the top of her lungs, and I turned, and she was walking so fast towards me, and like almost at a running pace. And she was yelling for me to get away from the house. And I took off running, like fast as I could run, back to my friend who was standing there laughing at me as I was running back. And I tripped over a parking block. And I fell, and I scraped my hands, and it was like in this manner here. And I still have the scars on my hand to this day, where I fell. And the blessing in all that was, I never tried to do it again. And I think had I made that sale, I probably wouldn't be here today. Like, if I'd have made that quick $20, that would have been something that said, hey, you don't have any money. This is a quick way to make money. That terrified me so much that I stayed away from it. I never went back to it. I was never intrigued by it ever again, even though from that point on, I was raised around it. I just didn't want to partake in that lifestyle.
You know what, man? My story was very similar. It was kind of similar to that.
Wow.
And you said you was 10?
I was 10.
Yeah. I think I might have been 12.
Oh, really?
And the dealers used to just put their stash like under a rock, behind trees, leaves, or whatever, just something they can, go
right.
to real quick when somebody pull up.
Right.
And I seen one guy put his stuff down and walk in the house. So ran across the street, picked it up, opened the bag up. He had a little bit of everything. He had a Crown Royal bag, and he had weed in it. He had crack, some other shit. I don't even know what it was, but I picked it up and was walking back across the street, and I seen one of them, the white vans come by the jump outs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's terrifying.
Scared me.
Yeah.
So right in there, so I threw the bag.
Yeah.
Ran in the house. Came out 5 minutes later, and was thinking like, shit, let me at least go get it. Put it back.
Right.
Went out there, it was gone.
Wow.
But the thing is though, I only wanted because I wanted some sneakers. I think Grant Hill had some new sneakers coming out, right. And I knew Mom couldn't buy them.
Yeah.
So I was just like,
this might
be the come up. Yeah. I didn't even know. We see drug dealers all the time. I knew. Okay, you walk up to somebody, give them whatever they need to get money, but I had never been in the process, so I never really even went that far to even figure out the process. All I knew is there was a bag, I could get it, I go from there. I never even thought it through, but that just shows how many young kids probably get in trouble with the law, getting caught up first time.
Yeah, and it was an impulse.
Yeah.
It was something that they were just trying to do in the moment, either keeping up with the Joneses or just wanting those sneakers.
Or actually being a mule,
Yeah.
holding it for somebody
Holding
else,
it for somebody.
getting caught, not in the system, don't have representation, don't have a lawyer, and then,
right.
But that was normal for us though. Like
that was normal. Yeah.
End of the day for us though, our ground was a little different. I mean, that happened to you before you met me,
right?
And I think when that happened to me, I think you might have just moved onto Oak Street.
Yeah. Okay.
But still, like in that process, like everything that was around us was that drugs,
that was it,
killings, fightings, just nothing good.
It was chaos,
right?
Nothing good.
But we chose a different route.
We chose a different route.
I don't but in our own innocent way though.
In our own innocent way, man.
We did right. Like we would rake leaves out of people's yards.
Let's talk about the story.
No, but listen though.
Yeah.
We did it because we had a gang.
Right. Oh yeah. Like we formed a gang.
Right. It wasn't like we wanted to just make money.
Right.
Like we still had to put in that hood concept.
Oh yeah.
Because that's all we knew.
That's all we knew.
Like it wasn't like let's have a club. Like let's not have a club.
Right.
Let's go make money. No, we had a gang.
We had a gang. We had a gang called Deuces. Yeah. So, we
we took the eraser.
Oh yeah.
Put the tattoo.
I still got mine.
Mine went off.
No, I still got mine. Yeah, I still got mine. But yeah, so we did classic stuff like that where we would we still had a bit of the model of being in the projects and seeing and kind of emulating our atmosphere, if you will. But we strayed away from. And we stayed away from the bad stuff. Like even at a young age, like I was just saying, the corner store. When we didn't have any money to eat.
I ain't do this shit.
Shit.
Hey, yes, you did. He did do this. Okay, we would stand outside of the store, and we would ask people for change. Like, so the stuff you see at Walmart nowadays or the corner stores, like, so usually the older people.
Soliciting. You gotta do something to say no soliciting.
Right. They probably started that.
That was us.
Like, we actually would sit.
No, but tell them, but it wasn't, we didn't just say, give me some money. We had to, we
would actually say, so, here's how to
get into character.
So, guy gets out of his car. I'm sitting there. We put kind of on a puppy face. And you don't want to look like you a threat. You want to look like you needy. But I mean, we were needy. We were hungry. We were starving. But, when they walk past you, you have to say it this way. Excuse me, sir. Would you have... Oh, no.
That's it. No.
Hold on. That's it.
Hold on. You know what? Go back. Just
go back. Okay, so set the scene. So
go back to the time.
So this early 90s.
We're sitting on the porch area of the store.
Yeah, or the store.
Facing the parking lot.
Facing the parking lot.
So we see potential marks coming up.
This
cat driving a Honda Accord. It's kind of new.
Yeah.
He got to have some
change. He got some change on him. Yeah, so either way they get out of the car, we'll talk amongst each other. Here comes somebody. Okay. And when they coming up, we'll say, excuse me, sir, or excuse me, ma'am. When you come out of the store, if you have some change, could you give us some change, or could you let us, have some change? And they'll either say yes or no. I mean,
mine would be, excuse me, sir, you wouldn't happen to have a few dollars on you? Just like that. I mean, it worked.
It worked. And
we had a name for it. We was it
bombing?
Yeah.
Bombing for change.
Like a
bomb.
Like a bomb. We'll be sitting on his cousin's porch.
Yes.
Just kind of hanging out in the projects normal day, and then one of us, hey, you wanna go bomb?
You wanna go bomb?
We'll walk to the store, which is probably maybe 2 miles.
Yeah.
Again, I have kids. I wouldn't let my kids walk 5 feet away from me. We was doing this at that young age, walking 2 miles.
Yeah.
And just go sit in front of a store until like the people who own somebody come out and until you guys gotta go.
Right. The mini market.
Yep.
The mini market
on Northwest Boulevard.
Yeah, Northwest Boulevard, man. People know from the hood, they know what we're talking about.
Bombing.
They know this, so we would go bombing, and we'll do it with pride. That's all we had, and we were hungry. Either if it was for us to plan for just getting something out of the store, or if it was we had a connect downtown at the Adams Mart Hotel. There was a guy, he would hook us up with like clam chowder.
I ain't eat that shit.
Yeah.
You and my brother did.
Yeah, man, I love that New York clam chowder. He had a New York accent
I just
too.
would be hungry. But go back though. So like with hustling, I want to get too sidetracked.
Yeah.
We came up with the gang Deuce.
Yep.
Probably the most innocent gang you would ever see. They couldn't do no documentary on us.
Nah.
We ain't shoot, kill nobody.
Nah.
But we stuck together with friends, still tight to this day.
Yeah.
But we decided, hey, let's go around, let's do whatever. Let's ask people if they needed something cleaned up in their house, needed trash taken out, right there. So we had to mention before, the yards on Oak Street had big oak trees in them, but nobody had grass. But those leaves were continuously falling. So we would just ask, hey, can we rake up your leaves?
Right.
And,
that's how
we didn't get much, but we did it pretty much the whole summer.
Yeah, we would make. And sometimes we would do store errands.
Yeah, whatever
Whatever
you need to do for some money, you're gonna do it.
Right.
And we did this for most of the summer.
Yeah,
and,
most of the summer.
With no real plan. We just we wanted to have a game. We talked about, I think, maybe buying T-shirts with Deuce written across the chest. I mean, you know,
the different little things. And at this point, we were under 14. We could not work at all.
Yeah.
But we knew that we didn't want to sell drugs. And we wanted to make enough money to eat and feed ourselves because our family, we were not in a position to have those things. Unfortunately, even the basic necessities you would think you could have, but no, we did not have food.
Yeah, basic.
We did not have food. I wish I could tell you what happened. Why we didn't have food, but we didn't have food.
That's another episode. That's a different episode. We'll get to that another.
Totally different.
But again, that breaks it back down to that hustler spirit that we feel like you just had that. Nobody asked us to do that. Nobody told us to do it. We never saw nobody before us do it to emulate. We just did it. And by the end of the summer, we actually ended up feeding the whole street.
Yep.
Oak Street was a real long street, but our segment of the street was what you say, maybe
because of new project.
Old projects. We were the old projects,
projects,
and that segment from Dairy to Northwest Boulevard had to be in 40 houses.
Yeah. It was a lot. It was a lot. And we took
we had
the money.
one big cookout.
Yeah, we had one big cookout. Yeah.
Fed
everybody, man. And it was something that, as kids and young teens, and I'm hoping that's why I said at the beginning of this podcast, if you're a parent, let your kids see this because they need to see, there's other options. You don't have to jump straight to the drugs. Our stuff was innocent.
And it was there for us to take it. Why we didn't necessarily go those routes, who knows? But
absolutely.
We had other avenues.
Absolutely.
And I'm not going to, that was not our intention.
Right.
We just were saving money.
Yeah, we were just saving money.
It turned out to be, and even then, I don't think we understood the impact of what we did in the moment.
We did.
It's not that we're grown men, we can look back and be like, we still sort of had it, we talk about that from time to time. I'm actually pretty amazed that kids at that age was able to stay out of trouble, raise money, and have a cookout for the community.
That was dope. That was
at
dope.
That age.
At that age. And, being around, the people in the neighborhood that, didn't even do things like that. If they threw cookouts.
Most people didn't work, though.
Yeah, most people didn't work. It was a tough time, but we actually came up with something that now we can look back on and be very proud of. And I wanted to make sure that, we got that out to you guys.
Also, that's also part of the core of 24 Karat Black.
Right.
We are a brand.
Right.
And our brand, our one of our core things that we stick to is wanting to give back to the community in general. And so, we've been doing that even before we realized we was doing it. And somehow that still fit into the fold of who we are and what we want to continue to do. If you were able to do that as, my brother, your cousin, we were 10, 11, 12, 13, maybe 14 years old. You're able to do that and have that impact. Now, granted, we fed people for one day.
Yeah.
These young boys, pre-teens, we was able to feed the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Imagine what we could do if we collectively put our dollars together. You don't need the government. You don't need these handouts.
You don't need the handouts. We did this and it let us know.
I don't think it was no more than maybe $150.
Yeah, something like that,
Think
man.
about it. You go to the grocery store, $150 goes a long way. It was just a whole bunch of burgers, hot dogs, chips, drinks. But that part of our community, that part of the street was fed that day.
Yeah.
I don't even believe we took stuff home.
Right.
Maybe somebody
I don't even believe
got us, but
I think adults and everybody kind of jumped in and it was doing it. It's like probably they didn't even know where it came from.
Because we didn't make no announcement about it. It was just
a setup.
Some food, cook it, fam, come and eat.
Yeah,
that was it.
And it was crazy, man. And so it just shows what we could do if we come together. And it was a beautiful moment in the project, And also I think that's something that sparked that vision in us, And me and him, man, we seen that we can do things like that, and I think at that point, it just kind of let us know, look, we're on to something. Let's keep on this course. Yeah. And
so with your help, obviously,
yeah.
through our clothing line, through donations, whatever, we continue to do those things, strive to be, better individuals, but to bring up our community with us. We don't plan on getting to the top and then just looking back and throwing down handouts from time to time for tax write-offs. Our whole goal is to bring our community up with us, with schools in our community, to get rid of these corner stores, these liquor stores off our community. Most of the does Gucci give back to our neighborhood? Does Ralph Lauren give it to our neighborhood?
Our neighborhood, no.
What about Fendi?
Nope.
What about
Louis Vuitton? None of them. Nope. I don't see none of those. I don't see none of them. Hermes. I don't see them in the hood.
No. But yet we spend our dollars on.
We spend a lot of money with them, and so what we're trying to let.
So if you're gonna pick cotton, pick ours.
Exactly.